So, what's up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. It's cool to see you, and I hope you guys are happy to see us again. It's Out podcast here, and today's guest is Temur Ismailov, and we'll ask you to introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up everybody? My name is Temur Ismailov. Most of my friends call me Timur. So I'm one of the students, RZ, Rising Zone. So I came here at the end of 2019 and then I finished 1 year ago. I finished I didn't finish till the end. I finished when I was studying intermediate unit 4. So that was enough for me to have this better understanding of English and then to get the score I wanted to get. So this was basically good, and then thanks for having me on this interview because I watched the previous videos. It was just so good.
Yeah.
So I got inspired by this, and then I really wanted to be shot here.
All right, thank you. So now we talked about your past achievements. You know, your IELTS score with 8 speaking. That's impressive. I gotta tell you that. So first of all, now you talked about your current achievements, but moving back to the past, I gotta ask you a question. What made you study English? What made you interested in English, or what idea did you have to study English? Because in the past, English was not that popular.
Yeah, that's basically a really good question because most people, they have to have somebody to push them towards their goals. But at that time, I was having nothing. I was doing nothing out there back then because I used to study in high school, and then I was not really interested in any kind of language.
Mm-hmm.
But once I was working with my brother, I used to help my brother at a clothes shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw one of my relatives whose name is Jahan. He was on the previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
So little kid, he's 4 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So he came up and then he was choosing the clothes, and then all of a sudden we kind of came to this topic. And then I was just thinking, he got 6 or 5.5 from IELTS.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden he said 7. And I was kind of surprised. Where do you study?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, Rising Zone. I knew it before, but I didn't know that, RZ would prepare students like that.
Mm-hmm.
Getting, on top level. So that's why I decided if he can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So, and then this was kind of, let's say, the point where I changed my mind and then dedicated my life to studying English.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you knew that our center existed, and afterwards you came to the center, right? I would like to ask some questions about your first impressions of the center. You know, you came to the lesson, how did it feel? Who's your teacher, and how did it teach?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest that first impressions were not as good as I had later because I used to study. I first started with beginner, beginner students, and then I was kind of older than students anybody else in the room. So they were kind of kids. I was kind of an oldster, and then I was having this kind of strange impression. And then we used to study really slow. But after I changed my group I was taught by 2 or 3 teachers. There were kind of reasons why we separated our group and so on. And then finally I found my place, and then I get it. I've really felt this. And then impressions really changed, especially debate parts, and then those old videos and motivational videos trying to imitate the celebrities and so on. So this part is it took my breath away. So I kind of just get obsessed with English.
So yeah, I get it. So nowadays a lot of people are actually outside doing literally nothing. They don't have a purpose in the future and different things, right? But I understand one thing, that studying English can change a person's personality to the fullest. So that happened to me, and I guess that happened to a lot of people watching us. So the question is, in what ways have English, lessons changed your mindset overall, to the life or something?
I can say definitely, without any doubt, that this learning English, it's not just learning one language. It's gonna be the second person. So long as you know another other languages, you're gonna turn into another other people, other personalities, because you simultaneously you learn their culture, you learn what they are occupied with, and so on. And then, like, you just only know too well that, like, what English people and do, like, in the United States, and then what they do in their, like, daily life and so on. And I can say that, like, it broadened my horizon, like, to the fullest. And I started having to, like, to look at the life, like, from different points, objectively. I used to think that, like, I'm just right, whatever I say is right. But then it kind of changed, and then I used to think of doing, like, nothing. I mean, you became, like, from nobody to somebody,
Yeah,
So
in English,
yeah,
especially RZ. Yeah, I still remember in the past I was also a straight kid, not having any purpose, but afterwards I came here, I studied English, my mindset changed, and I stopped being with my friends outside and having fun, only thinking of fun with pals outside. But afterwards English changed everything, and plus I started working here as well. That's what I'm grateful for, by the way. Because the colleagues and everybody, they have different kind of mindset. And if you compare those people who are studying English and compare those people who are having fun outside, then you can notice the difference, like the hugest difference ever.
You bet.
Yeah, I guess the same thing happened to you, right?
Like, it's pretty much it. The same way that affected me. I mean, overall, you cannot lose anything by studying English. You can just obtain, like, good things for you. Or, like, you can make more friends, nice people out there, like, talking different language. So, and then you start watching movies in the original version.
Oh,
Not like,
that's another level of fun. Yeah,
yes.
I can feel
So, which I really meant by saying, like, learning English, it's not just learning English. It's kind of like, more than, like, learning language. It's kind of different way. So you can just, like, create opportunities for yourself. So that totally makes sense, and I would, like, advise anybody else out there to learn English at least, because this is the language, like, most known in the world. So most of the people, almost like 1 billion people speaking, like, English. So this is most spoken language in the world. I can say that.
Yeah, so like you said, I advise everybody, every young kid to study English. But what exactly do you advise and what exactly do you recommend to do to master English perfectly, at least in speaking?
Okay, so I can say back then, when I was studying, like, at RZ, English, I would have friends, like, who were studying, like, in English as well. But they were not studying English, like, correctly, I can say. Because they were too obsessed with grammar, which was not really good. You can, like, write everything, like, on the paper and, like, study grammars, and then, like, heavy grammars and fancy vocab. But what's the purpose if you cannot hold it, like, one person talking, like, in English? So in RZ, the main point is to get you to, like, talk with people or with your peers, so you can hold it like normal conversation. But other centers, they, like, stressed on grammar, which was not really good. Because, like, anybody come up to you and then give you a question, you might hesitate. That's not good. So instead of studying grammar, I would advise, like, any other kid, it's even, like, you can just, like, scroll down on the YouTube and then see people talking in English. So, like, mistakes and then, like, grammar is not important here. What really important is to have your peers talking to you, come here, like, Sunday debates, especially Sunday events, like, they are just, like, like, nothing, like, there could be nothing in this world nicer than, like, having the debates with the peers, talking to them and argue with them, so you can stress and then you can show off yourself, like, in terms of English. So that was a good one. I can say, I like, push any other kid to come here, not only come here to study English, like, it's usually 3 times a week and then, like, 2 hours a lesson, right? So we have debates as well, and then anytime this center is open, you can come here and sit and practice with others. So that's the, like, benefit of this center. They hold their own, like, always open for you on Sundays.
Yeah, so I can remember, I've been to other centers as well. As you said, they only teach grammar and they don't let you talk to a lot of people, because obviously by studying only grammar, you cannot be a master of talking, right?
Yes.
So what I tell is, if anybody comes here with the good English knowledge, they can be practicing in debates, and that's like American atmosphere because everybody's talking in English, right? You can go against them, you can learn new phrases, and that's the way of improvement, right?
Yeah.
So I guess debates are very crucial and vital.
Yeah, it's not only crucial, it's very needed. Because you make mistakes, you got kind of embarrassed because they notice your mistakes and then like they might tell you that you did this, you did that wrong and so on. So you work on these mistakes, right? So that's the point. Like, I was not really afraid of making mistakes. I mean, make a million mistakes, but don't spend your energy making the same mistake. That was the point for me. So I can say that it is remarkable and a really incredible thing to have the debates and then like get any other person talk to you because it's really important. You see yourself, like how you're talking to another person, and then you just like, see that you're achieving something.
Plus, our center offers free debates every Sunday, so you can come and use this chance to talk like us.
I still come here to debates because in order to maintain the level I have, it's been like 1 year. Can you imagine that?
And you
1
still
year.
coming, right?
Yeah. From the time to time, I need to practice my English because otherwise, without practice, it's gonna go away. Yeah.
Obviously. So we literally talked about everything, and now the only thing left, is about your future. So what are your plans? With the English you learned from here, what do you think? Is it going to be helpful in the future as well?
Absolutely yes. Because as I said, you cannot lose anything by learning English. So this is kind of your path. Like you will create opportunities for yourself. Even if you go to the job interview, so they would ask you, the first question they are going to give you, how many languages you have. So already people in our country, most of them, they know like Russian, right? Because it became kind of our second language. But English is something different. It's also getting like, popular in our country. I can see like a lot of people like, learning English and then doing some good stuff. So, but anyways, they always ask you like, the first question, how many languages you have? Like, you can talk. So this is the first benefit. And second benefit, you can go like, let's say, you might travel like to another country, like you might go overseas, like as a mission from the job. So you would understand like what people talking around. So that's also benefit. You wouldn't need any translator with you.
Alright, so
Interpreter.
obviously, so I heard you talking about a job, right? And as far as I know, you're working in logistics, the job that offers, that requires a lot of English skills and stuff. So how has English been beneficial in the job of yours?
I can say it was really beneficial from very first day. Because working in logistics, it's not really easy and it's not for everybody. Because it's like, it requires you to be stress tolerant, it requires you to play it smart, and then it requires you to know good English. Because the first day I came and I was interviewed by the manager, general manager, and I was talking non-stop in English and he was kind of impressed. Oh yeah, hell yeah, like, you're gonna take you to our board. And I was, I was really positive about it. And then, nobody would help me, but me myself, because of my English, I would understand what's going on, like around. And then I would talk to native people and I would understand the point at first talk. If you talk to the native people and then ask them to repeat the thing again, you're not gonna like it. So I had this kind of better skills about listening and then talking to native people and how to use the words properly at the right time and at the right place. There are some words and vocabulary, so you need to know and then use them like properly at the right time, right? So that's why. And then I got kind of promoted right now to the manager level in safety department. There is department of safety, so where there were like 20 people. So it's under control right now, and then I need to control all of them.
You're in charge.
Yeah, I'm in charge, and then I talk to officer, like police officer, or like any kind of deputy. So I just handle the accidents. So in order for you to be able to work in this kind of sphere perfectly, not only work, this is kind of not stable work. You get promoted immediately if you know what you're doing. So that's why, because of my good English, I can say like, I could like make fortune out of it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because this is now well-paid job, and I'm really proud of what I'm doing now, and my parents as well. So like like everybody needs money, and then everybody needs like good money. So I can like make like good money here.
So with the help of English, you made your parents proud. You made them happy, satisfied with everything you're doing. So everybody can do the same.
Actually, the IELTS part, I still remember it. It was kind of milestone for me. One of the milestones. Even the company I work right now, they wanted to take me to the United States. But for some reasons it didn't work out. But we still have a chance. I mean, you see how it's important, like you just knowing English perfectly. Company wants you to like take to the United States, and then like practice you there, and then be there like with them and so on. And then company don't want you to leave this company, So that's why they are paying you like good money.
You're valuable there.
Yeah, you make your own value there because of your English. So that's why. And then when it comes to the IELTS part, I was really obsessed those days with English because I was about to take IELTS. Especially like I wanted to study master's degree overseas, so that's why I wanted IELTS. It really made sense at that time, but it's not really right now because IELTS certification is like single time use test. So it cannot really show your real skills or capability of you talking in English, because people might be like worried or like overwhelmed because of like tests and so on. Yet I could succeed. I could succeed in terms of IELTS because I got 7 in reading, 7 from listening, and then 6 from writing. My writing really sucks because I didn't prepare at all for writing. But speaking was good, 8. Even though not having the face-to-face conversation, like test, the test was held on the Zoom, so it was good, 8. And then my teacher also got proud of me because 8 was really good. I told you, I did not finish everything till the end. I was just intermediate student, Unit 4. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, Unit 4, and then just having the preparation of 3 months for IELTS, I could get like easily 7. Because of this center, of course, because people not knowing general English, they can never get like higher score from IELTS. That's for sure. And it's being told by most of the, let's say, masters or like teachers or tutors from IELTS. They say general English is very important for IELTS.
Yeah, so you've been telling that RZ is such a beneficial place.
Yes.
It taught us a lot of things. The purpose of mine is actually in the future to open a lot of centers like RZ and be helpful to a lot of students, because I know RZ has been helping a lot of students, a lot of people outside, me and a lot of people, to win a lot of things in life. That's what I gotta tell you. So a lot of people out there are so much grateful for RZ, and I guess it's our priority and responsibility to open a lot of places like this in the future to help people out there.
Yes, sure, that's for sure. So places like RZ, they should have more branches in Tashkent or like all around Uzbekistan, because they have this kind of method that they can try to approach students depending on their character. At that time, back then, my teacher was Jakob again. So he used to have like different approach to like depending on the students. So every single student would talk in English. They wouldn't like they wouldn't be ashamed of what they are saying, or they wouldn't be ashamed of mistakes they are making. So he had this kind of like positive impact on everybody because he had this kind of method and then plan to each group. He would teach every group differently. So that was the point. So I can say that no one is left behind here. Like he pays attention to everybody and other teachers as well. So they take the students strong point, and they try to let them know that they don't have weak points.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So, a good teacher has to approach every student individually and know his flaws. He has to know good sides and how to work with that student, in what ways he can improve, and what ways are actually, stopping him from improving and stuff. And in our center, actually, every teacher is the same because all the students have been succeeding recently. So I guess it's the hard work of a teacher, and of course the interest of the student as well, because teachers always provide interest in students. So all the time they're kind of improving and enthusiastic about everything you're learning, and I guess it's helping them succeed in the future.
Yeah. Right? As we talk, as we go on, I start remembering, the good points about the center. So as I mentioned, forgot to mention the benefits from RZ. So one of the important things here, when you study elementary, so you'll be given a time to pass the quiz. So if you don't pass the quiz, if you don't get over 70, so you're gonna you are gonna be kicked out from the group and then you will be lowered down. So that's why this is the good point. So if you want to keep studying with your group, with the atmosphere you have right now, so you need to study and you need to do homework, and it's still same like it was in the past. So the students, they study and then they pass the quiz. So if they don't pass it, so they're gonna be in another group. So that's also good. I think this is also good method of teaching English, because they need to get it back what they gave you already. So they need results, So this is not playing a game here. So this is for real. I mean, you study and you need to show the results. If you don't show the results, so you are more than welcome to keep the leave the group, because you are not worth studying in this group. Because people who pass the quiz, they are they have higher level than you. So why would you ever be studying with them? You would just hold them back. So that was the point.
So
I guess there are a bunch of things that I can talk on and on about RZ.
But the time is limited.
Time is limited, and I can say best, and the thing I like the best about RZ is Sunday events, and then you can get anybody talking English. That's I love the most. You are not kind of embarrassed talking to them in English, and then even teachers. Between teachers, they have this kind of English conversation. You also get interested in it, and you also want to join them because they use any type of vocab and so on.
Yeah, so that was a very meaningful conversation. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, and then I also wanted to say people who don't understand English, I just wanted to let them know about center, how beneficial it is, and then what you can get from this center. If you don't mind, I would tell them in Uzbek.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be appreciated to the fullest. That's for the ones not understanding English experience.
For the parents, for the kids who are trying to start learning English and so on. Rising Zone o'quv markazi haqiqatda juda ham ko'p narsani o'zgartira oladi. Chunki bularda anchadan beri dars berib kelayotgan o'qituvchilar bor. Ya'ni 2003-yildan beri adashmasam, 2003-yildan beri bu sentr ochilgan. Shundan beri men o'zim maktabda o'qib yurgan paytimdan beri ko'pchilik shu sentrga qatnaydi. Mana shu sentrga qatnagan bolalar bilan boshqa sentrga qatnagan bolalarni solishtirganimda bular bari aqlliroq chiqadi. O'sha Rising Zone'da yaxshi tarafi noldan oxirigacha o'rgatishadi. Ya'ni xuddi bemalol o'zbek tilida gapirgandek gapira olish qobiliyatiga ega bo'ladi. Albatta native speaker emas, har holda native speakerlar bilan bellasha oladigan holatda ular gaplasha oladi. Eng asosiy nuqtasi menga yoqadigan joyi, men bunaqa ingliz tilida gapira olaman deb o'ylamaganman. To'g'risi. Shu paytgacha pre-intermediate o'qishib, debatlarni boshlangandan keyin ingliz tilida shunaqa gapirish o'zimga ham yoqib ketdi, atrofimdagi odamlar ham qanaqadir men bilan anaqa bellashuv bo'ldi. It's kind of race, let's say. O'shaning uchun bu yerda nima yaxshi tarafi bellashuv qilishadi, debatlar, competition, o'sha narsalar zo'r. Ya'ni bolalarning vaqti bekor ketmaydi. ular bu yerda vaqtini o'tkazadi nimaga? Til o'rganishga. Baribir mani fikrimcha til o'rganish kerak. Sababiki bitta mashhur odam gap bor edi. Qancha tilni bilsang, sen shuncha xil odamsan. Ya'ni u til o'rganishdan ham ko'p o'rgansa, ya'ni o'sha tilni bilgandan keyin u boshqa qanaqa dunyo qarashi ham o'zgaradi. O'shaning uchun eng yaxshi markaz deb o'ylayman. O'zim o'qiganman, o'zim shu yerda tahsil olganman, har doim kelib ertalabdan kelib dars qilib o'tirardim. Anaqalarni yodlardim, spichlarni yodlardim. Shu qisqasini aytganda, yoshligi o'sha o'rganmoqchi bo'lgan 7 yoshdan 70 yoshgacha deydi. Hamma odam kelib o'qisa, o'rgansa bo'ladi. Juda ham effektivniy o'rganasizlar. Ya'ni ular ildizigacha, oxirigacha o'rgatishadi. Ya'ni prosta anaqa emas, mana plan berildi, bo'ldi shuni bajarish kerak emas. Ular rezultatga qaraydi. Agar kimdir oqsab qolgan bo'lsa, riskni to'xtatishadi, shu bolani ham olib ketishadi. Shuning uchun juda ham bir muvaffaqiyatga ega bo'lsa bo'ladi. Bu sentrdan o'qib ketgan juda ko'p odamlar taniyman. Kimdir Amerikada yuribdi, kimdir Avstraliyada yuribdi. Shunaqa. Qisqasini aytganda, vaqt bekor ketmaydi. Sentrda o'qish kerak, til o'rgangan yaxshi. Va albatta, Rising Zone bilan o'rgangan bundan ham yaxshi.
All right. Thank you very much for
Thank you very
English
much.
and Uzbek explanation of everything.
Sure.
Thank you for watching as well. Hope to see you next
That was
time.
good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for everybody watching us.